Hey y'all, welcome to our podcast, Love Speaks Volumes,
where we seek to bridge the communication gaps in our relationships.
We are your hosts. I'm Louise, a certified marriage counselor and certified sex therapist.
And I'm Mika, a defense lawyer with over 20 years experience.
We are mothers,
wives,
sisters,
and friends.
And together, we are Black Diamonds 2.0 Entertainment. We are strong,
resilient,
powerful,
beautiful,
but never flashy,
pressured, but unbreakable.
Are you a Black Diamond?
If so, wear your title boldly and proudly because you deserve it, my kings and queens.
How are all our Black Diamonds doing today? What's going on in our relationships? Let's talk about it.
Well, hey, everybody. We are so grateful that you have decided to join us once again. Of course, it's me, Mika, and my friend
Louise. I'm here in the house.
Yes, and we got a special treat for y'all today.
Yes.
So today is an episode where we're going to hear from a male perspective, and happens to be my other half. I should say my other whole, because he's a whole person in and of himself.
Yes, he is.
My husband, James, is on the mic today.
Whoop, whoop.
And so this episode, again, our whole purpose is, to hopefully try to bridge the communication gaps in our relationships that hopefully help somebody somewhere at some point in time. So today our episode is going to be about managing expectations. And we want to talk about what the bare minimums are in relationships. And then we're going to talk about specific needs in those relationships. So bare minimums, of course, is what we think most men and women would want out of a relationship. Of course, those specific needs are specific to individual relationships. And so my friend Louise, I'm kind of scared, y'all. She's gonna interview me and my husband today. This is gonna be part one. And then I'll have the pleasure of interviewing her and Big Walt, her husband.
Oh my.
Is gonna be episode part 2 to this same topic. So we hope y'all enjoy. We hope y'all can get something out of this. So, Louise, what you got for us, girl? What you got?
So, first of all, I'm a little bit nervous because next time it'll be my turn. So, I better be very careful on what I ask and what I say because it might come back to bite me.
Well, you know what? It's going to come. It don't matter what you do. You know I'm coming for you. So, it's going to be cool, though. It's going to be cool. It really is. You know I won't do you too wrong.
No, I know.
I'm not going to give you the questions beforehand, just like I don't know what you about to ask us.
It's
gonna be all good. It's gonna help somebody somewhere at some point in time.
Yes,
so.
and poor Mika's husband wanted the questions ahead of time, and we didn't give them to him.
I don't have them, so
she doesn't have them either. So you guys, hey, just bear with us. It should be fun though. So we're talking about managing expectations. First of all, I'll just start with this. Do you guys think you do a good job in your marriage of managing your expectations?
No.
You said that quick.
Okay. Why is that, honey bunny? Why do you say no?
Because first of all, you have to let your spouse know what your expectations are for them to be managed. And so if you're not on the same page, then you'll never know how to manage those expectations because you don't know what they are.
This is true. Now I'm gonna say this is a couple. We're speaking. We've been together 28 years, and in June of next year, we'll be married for 25 years. Is that right? No. So yeah. We've been together 28 years, and in June, it'll be 25 years married.
See, she don't even know how long we've been married.
I do, too. I was thinking 29, but 29 next year will be the total amount
That'll
of
be
years
another episode
that we would have been together. Don't do that. Don't do that. So, you see, you on the mic and you want to be special, and don't do that. I know how long we've been married. Again, 25 years in June, if God, if I don't kill him before then. So...
Oh.
But
Did you
I
say
think
that on the mic as an attorney?
Yeah, I did.
You can't do that.
I did. You know.
She don't mean it, y'all. She just
What?
playing.
What? Okay.
Oh, she mean it.
I mean it. How to Get Away with Murder? What?
Oh my gosh.
So, no,
Annalise
just kidding.
Keating in the house.
Absolutely. But yeah, I agree with him. It's all about communication. So you can't manage, as he said, you can't manage, expectations if you don't know what those expectations are. But I will say, it's interesting that he would be the one that chimes in and say no first. Do you think, honey, that you communicate those expectations?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Elaborate, please.
So I would say that I did, not to the point that she thinking. So I would beat around the bush and tell her what I wanted or, what my expectation was. But I don't think she really took me seriously.
And he's right.
That's a good point. Like, that's something to talk about, because if a man is sharing his expectations and he's kind of like half saying it, maybe a little passive aggressive in his way of sharing those things, then would it be taken seriously, or should we always just take them seriously?
I don't agree that we should always take them seriously. I feel like if it's a serious need for you, then I think you should come at me seriously. Okay. I don't think you should play or joke or beat around the bush for what you feel like you need. Now, here's the thing. If there is a certain need that you have, or a certain desire, expectation, want, or whatever else you want to call it, if you will get to the point where, or if it's so important to you that you will hold me accountable for it, then I think you should hold yourself accountable for being able to articulate it in a serious way, as opposed to joking and beating around the bush about it. Because if you do that, if you're not taking it seriously, or you seem as though you're not presenting it seriously, I'm not going to accept it as serious. But later on, don't hold me accountable because you were really serious. Mm-hmm. I'm not a mind reader. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm really not. And so he knows I'm the kind that I say what I want, mm-hmm. and I say what I mean, and I mean what I say. Mm-hmm. And so if it's something that I really want, or if it's something that I really need, or it's something I'm expecting from him, and saying, hey, honey, I would really, I really like you to do this. I'm not joking around about it. And if I do, I'm not going to sit here and hold him accountable for not doing those things or meeting that expectation if I'm not coming at him seriously.
So you're more of that direct communicator. You're going to say exactly what you need. You're going to spell it out. It's going to be crystal clear. And for him, he's going to kind of lightly present it. James, does that sound right?
Yeah, some things.
Okay. Some things. Other things, not so much?
Well, some things is kind of like, okay, well, I know we've been married, and some things is kind of like, I don't know, it's a taboo to approach you with, as opposed to, okay, maybe I can just, kind of slide this in, maybe she'll get it. But I've gotten to the point where if I want something, then I need to tell her. So she'll fully understand what it is I'm asking, and she can say no or yes or go to hell or whatever. But
I love that you said that, because for sometimes I think people expect what they expect, and they don't give that other person freedom to be able to say, okay, no, that doesn't work for me. And then that's when we start to venture into relationships that get a little more like abusive and things like that, which we don't want that, because your expectation could be, oh, well, I want to be able to do whatever I want, and then you don't give that other person a say. And so I love that you said that, James, because you're giving her that freedom to say no, yes, go somewhere else.
Well, I would say we had to get to that point.
Okay.
I mean, we really had to grow to that point. And I don't think it's necessarily where relationships get to, when you don't get to that point or haven't gotten to that point, that is necessarily an abuse or turns into an abusive relationship, but it may turn into a less than desirable relationship in the sense that you're if somebody has a need that is not being met, or it has an expectation that is not being met, and you don't give that other person enough, I don't know the word I'm looking for, but if you're dogmatic about it, and you're, hey, this is what I want, and
I'm
this
not
is what
going to bend on it.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And some things you may have to say that, but you have to realize I'm a person too.
Right.
And I'm not here to be a slave. I'm not here to be a maid. I'm not here to be, dictated to. And so marriage is more about compromise. And so we really had to get to that point. But we really had to get to the point where I can say he can, one, express what he needs, and be clear about it. And I can say, okay, boo, I can work with you on that. Or I can say, hell no, that ain't about to happen. But let me explain to you why. Okay? And vice versa. You know what I'm saying? I don't ever want to put him in a situation where it's something I want, and I'm so dogmatic about it, and I'm not changing on it, but it makes him feel less than to meet that expectation, or it makes him totally, uncomfortable. And I don't never want that for him. And on the flip side, I don't want him to want that for me either.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So again, marriage is about compromise.
Yeah.
So I think if you make sure you're meeting all the bare minimums, and we probably should talk about what we feel are the bare minimums, and then likewise, then you get into what our specific needs is for each person's relationship, because again, it's going to be specific to that specific relationship.
Yeah. So I brought that part up about what James said about, giving that freedom for the other person to say yes or no or whatever, because it does generate dialogue when someone does say yes or no. Then you can start to talk a little bit more. But also for any listeners who are out there who are in those types of relationships where they're always just adjusting for the other person, just molding and shaping themselves into a shell of who they are. We definitely want to caution against that and continue to be.
Yourself.
Yes,
you're going to lose
you
yourself in that
will.
relationship. And a relationship works better when you have two whole people who are coming together. As you always say, friend, iron sharpens iron.
It does.
So we both want to be sharp. We want to be sharper together. But if I'm always dulling myself so that you can shine,
that's a problem.
This ain't working for me.
We both need to be shining together.
It's not going to work for me.
Absolutely.
So
you brought up the bare minimums. So I don't know, who should I ask first? Let's talk about what are the bare minimums.
Well, I talk all the time, as y'all can tell. So let me hear what he feels the bare minimums. Let's start with him.
What are the bare minimums, James, in a relationship?
Oh, it's easy for a man.
Talk about it.
Just need sex about 3 times a week.
Sex 3 times.
Is that the bare minimum? I'm just wondering. Is that the bare minimum?
For me, yeah.
Okay.
Did you write that down, Mika?
I've taken note.
I don't think she heard it though.
What?
I think she heard it loud and clear. What do you mean she didn't hear
Don't
it?
act like you don't get sex. Don't do that. Don't
We
get
were
on this podcast.
She said,
and act
"Don't
like
make me put your business in the
you
streets."
okay. I'm you know what? I ain't gonna have these people all in my business. I'm gonna go ahead and let you talk because you are
Well, go ahead and set the record straight then.
What?
Go ahead and set the record straight.
Go ahead with your rest. You acting like you saying that as though I don't know and that you don't get regular sex.
I didn't say I did. She just asked for the bare minimum.
Okay,
That's
well, go
all.
ahead.
Okay, well, you carry on with your bare minimums.
Hit dog or holler.
Okay.
Better be careful, James. You might not be
He a
getting
comedian,
no
honey.
sex.
He a
It'll
comedian. Go ahead.
I need to have food on the table.
This is bare minimums or specific needs? Because so specific needs again is specific to our relationship as opposed to what you think are bare minimums
For everybody else?
for every a bare minimum.
Let's see, everybody can't cook, so
That's true. So that might be specific to your relationship because your wife a whole chef.
bare minimums.
It's just sex, James.
You see, that's all that comes to mind for him. That's it. He can't think of anything else but sex.
Is that it? That's all that's on your brain?
Not
all the time,
not all the
every
time.
day, all day.
But at least 3 times a week.
Girl. Okay.
No, I would say communication.
Elaborate. What does that mean? What does communication
What does
mean?
that
Because we
look like?
always know that communication is such a broad statement.
Well, for one, I need to tell her what's on my mind, how I'm feeling. And she also needs to tell me as well. Because at some point, there may be something that I'm lacking that she can fulfill for me at that moment, and vice versa. And sometimes you just want to talk to your significant other just to see how the day was or see how things are going, and just want to enjoy each other's company sometime.
What does enjoying each other's company look like?
Sex.
That's
Look, you see the wheels turning in his head, girl. If y'all can see his face,
I know.
he's just like, okay, what do
This
I
should've
say
been a
other than
video
sex?
episode.
Because
No.
that's all the wheels be saying.
No.
They turning, but they all saying the same thing. Sex.
I was gonna say what she was gonna say.
You don't know what I
What-
was gonna say.
Her thing is fire, stick, and dick. That's what she like.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. That's a new statement. Okay, y'all heard it here first.
Okay.
Is that?
I ain't even.
I don't even know
Okay.
what does that mean.
You know, like the little kids say Netflix and chill.
Uh-huh.
So we changed it around. The adult version.
Oh, okay. So she just want to watch movies on the Fire Stick? I don't understand. Break it down for the people.
Or we just turn it on so it's loud so the kids can't hear.
Oh my God. Okay. I thought we were talking about bare middles. We talking about specific needs now.
No, we was talking about the communication.
But it still
Or-
landed on sex.
Did
And I
it
don't
all?
understand.
Every time, girl. Every time.
No, sometimes we just lay in the bed and she'll lay on me and I'll hold her and we'll just sit and watch TV until we fall asleep.
Okay.
Now I like that.
Okay. Are there other things that you enjoy that are along those lines that are, because I think that would be good for any relationship. It builds attachment. It builds connection.
Yeah, I like going for long walks.
You
Sorry.
oh,
I'm just playing.
I was about to say he is lying to y'all.
I was just joking.
He's lying.
I wish this was a video episode because the facial expressions in this room would kill.
Girl, you see my face? I was like,
Look, mine too.
No.
I was like side-eyeing him. Like,
I'm
for real.
just joking.
no, he lying.
No, we like to sit down and watch sports. Well, I do, and she's learned to. So I like when we sit down and watch sports or just chill and relax together.
Mika, what are those bare minimums for you? We already got sex and communication, so
So those have been checked
check,
out. Huh?
Check.
Bare minimums, I think for me, and it's not specifically for me. I think the bare minimums are those that kind of cross all kinds of relationships. But I would think that bare minimum would be just acknowledgement. One, you have to acknowledge your person, your significant other. You want to be in a relationship where they see you. Not just see you, they also hear you. And so it's not like you take for granted that this person is here, or you could care less whether they're here or not, or you don't know whether they in the room or not in the room, or whether they done left the building and you don't even know. We want to be acknowledged. And I think that transcends any relationship, from relationship to relationship. We want to be acknowledged.
Yeah.
Hello.
I agree.
Good morning.
I agree.
That right
Please.
there. So I think also bare minimums is another bare minimum is we want to feel that we're wanted, and that we are that our significant other is attracted to us. You should never get more compliments outside your house than you do inside your house.
Say it again for the people in the
You
back.
should never, never get more compliments outside your house than you do inside your house.
I hope somebody wrote that down.
I'm going to say it again for the people in
One
the back
more time.
that did not hear me.
Because they need
They
to hear
heard
it.
it.
I don't know if they heard it,
need
James.
to hear that.
They heard it.
Somebody need to hear it.
Somewhere at some point in time. You should never get more compliments outside your house than you do inside your house, or outside your relationship than you do inside your relationship. So we want to feel wanted. We want to feel that our significant other is attracted to us. So I think that's a bare minimum that, transcends, like, again, any relationship, and is not specific to just this relationship. We want to feel secure. We want to feel
that's
secure.
a good one.
And I think that's any person in any relationship. We want to feel secure enough that, not just financially secure. I'm not even talking about finance. I'm talking about secure in our person with you, and secure in the sense that I could come to you. Like, my husband was speaking earlier about being able to come to, your spouse or your significant other. But you got to feel secure enough to do that. You got to feel secure enough to be vulnerable with that person. Yeah. And if you don't, for whatever reason, that person has not made you secure or has damaged that security, it's hard to come and communicate with that person.
Right.
And so is how you're going to end up having this communication gap again.
Absolutely.
Because you don't feel secure enough. So I think security is another bare minimum for any woman in any relationship. We want to feel secure. So I think that, to me, is probably the major bare minimums. I think men also should understand in any relationship that women like sex too. We may not need it or require it, expect it as much.
Or talk about it.
Right. Yeah.
That
part right there. So
if I don't talk about it, you won't know about it.
Yes and no. Because there's other ways to communicate other than saying it. So, hey, I can communicate some ways with you that let you know that I want it, I ain't even got to open my mouth. Can I not?
Uh-oh. Yeah. She might be doing it right now in the room, y'all.
So,
I might need to leave.
So, but my point is that women also, enjoy sex. So, and sex is not just for men. So we enjoy sex as well. We may not want it or need it quite as much as men, especially, those of us in long-term relationship with kids and that got careers. And so, but that doesn't mean it's not important to us. That doesn't mean that we don't need it as well.
I'm just going to throw a little sex therapy plug in here because it just sounds like a nice little segue.
Do that.
Like, if you're not enjoying the sex that you're having with your significant other, maybe we need to be having a conversation. That's a whole nother episode right there. Because I hear so many women who talk about, I don't like sex, but they don't necessarily not like sex.
They just don't like it with who they having it.
Well,
is that what it is?
I'll put a shameless plug in there. It's not for myself, but Dr. Maureen Willihan out of West Palm Beach, Florida, wrote a book called Kiss and Tell years ago. And in her book, she said, it's not so much that women don't like having sex. They don't like the sex they're having. But because we aren't as open with our communication around sex. Now, some women are. Like, there's a lot of sexual freedom out there now for women. But there are a lot of women who, sometimes Christian women are a little more like, oh, no, we can't talk about it, blah, blah, blah. They don't talk about it with their husbands. They don't talk about it with their friends. They don't talk about it with anybody. However, you can see we're pretty free in here. We just talk about whatever. But I just want to encourage people to, talk about it. It's okay. It won't kill you.
Right.
James, you keep looking at the door. Is somebody out there? Because I'm about to pull out,
No, I thought I heard somebody come in.
Oh, you want to stop talking about sex because somebody about to come in? It might be your kids.
But the door is closed.
Oh, okay. We in a soundproof room out here.
We are in a soundproof room.
Kidding.
But yeah, I encourage other women. I do express, and if you don't express during sex, there's no way. Again, just like I said, we're not mind readers. I don't think men are mind readers either. So if you're not expressing, and if you're not enjoying sex because you're not expressing, there's no way that you're going to get the things that you need out of sex or be able to get to that state of enjoyment because they probably don't know what it is that they're doing that's not right, or that they should be doing that they're not doing, or how to please you, because some of them you really have to let them know. Yep. And if you aren't letting them know, hey, this ain't working for me, or this hurts me, or this whatever bothers
especially if it hurts you, do not lay there and do that, y'all. Please, please, ladies, please, 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 and please talk to them about it. But I think security, that's the reason why I brought it up. That's why I was like, whoa, because if you have that level of security with your significant other or your partner, then you are able to share those kinds of things with them. Right. So we just want to encourage you guys in that way.
Be free.
Yeah, be free for sure. For sure.
But it's hard to be. I will say it's hard to be free if you're not secure.
That's right.
So,
that's right.
It
that's
goes
a
back
foundation.
to that bare minimum of being secure with the person that you're with. You're not going to be able to share those things if you aren't secure with the person that, if you don't feel comfortable, if you don't feel like, hey, he got me, she got me, whoever, they got me, and I'm okay. It's okay for me to open up or be vulnerable with this person. Then you're not going to share those things, and you're not going to get to, having, some. But wow, amazing, yeah, mind-blowing sex.
Yes, all that.
So, yes.
So you guys have rattled off about 5 things. I'm just going to recap for all of our listeners. Number 1, James started out with sex. So we'll go back.
This is our bare minimum list.
This is the bare minimum list. He said he needs some sex, and that's the bare minimum. Also, we talked about communication.
Yeah.
That communication is key, and not just talking at each other, but actually listening. I always like active listening exercises. Number 3, we have acknowledge, which is seeing and hearing the other person. Number 4, we want to feel desired or attractive. Yep. And number 5, secure. And I kind of lump that into secure enough to be vulnerable, to share that vulnerability, and also trust, because trust also yields security as well. So I got this wonderful couple here, and we can talk about the specific needs of a couple. So first of all, we know what the bare minimums are. I didn't hear any really.
It's about to get interesting, y'all.
It sure is, girl. Let me tell you. So I heard about the bare minimums. You guys didn't disagree about those. Specific needs, I don't know what's getting ready to happen in here.
Yeah,
everybody's taking a drink.
It's about to get real.
Everybody wetting their whistles in here. I don't know what's about to happen. So how do you guys communicate those specific needs?
Well, I will tell you how we communicate. I have to say, what is it that you want? Or I have to say, this is what I want.
Okay.
He's just starting to get to the stage where he, despite how long we've been together, he really is just starting to get to the point where he can express to me specifically without joking around, without playing, and saying, hey, babe, this is what I need, or this is what I desire, this is what I want. I've always been able to do that. I haven't stopped doing that. So when you say, how do we communicate those specific needs, it used to be just me pulling it out, or me having to say, hey, what is it? What is it that you need? What is it that you want? And even me saying that, sometimes he hasn't expressed what it is that he needs. Now, I will say, just as an aside, I do a lot of self-inventory. I do a lot of self-reflection. I do a lot of self-accountability, and a lot of looking inward. And so I've often looked at myself to say, okay, why is it that he hasn't been able? Is it something that I'm doing? Or is it something about him that prevents him from being able to express, looking inward to say, hey, am I doing something that's preventing him from, again, back to that word security, not feeling secure enough to be able to come to me to say these things that he desires, he wants? Or is it, and so I try to check myself. I do try to check myself, okay, and say, hey, And it's when he says something, am I argumentative? Or when he says something, am I down his throat? Am I shunning? Is my facial expressions all off? So I do try to check that, but I do try to encourage him also, let me know these things. Let me know, because again, I'm not a mind reader.
Yeah.
And so back to your question, so I kind of loop it all right back around. It used to be more so of me pulling things out of him, or me coming to him and asking, what is it that you want, or what is it that, could make things better, just in our relationship. How do you need me to show up for you? Blah, blah, blah. Like I said, we've been in this for a while, and he's still just now getting to the stage where he, can't express and open up and say, here's what I need.
James, do you think, do you feel that freedom to be able to just share what you need now?
I do now a little more.
Okay.
Because before it was some things that were like, if I said it to her, I would get like a facial expression, and when you get that facial expression, it's like, yeah, don't even ask that again.
Bless your heart, Polo Ting.
Or it would be some things where you're like, I'm not even going to ask her that because I know where it's going. Okay. So it's kind of like, okay, just don't even ask.
You're anticipating the shutdown.
Or I'm anticipating like, well, why are you even asking me that?
Okay.
But do you think that's fair though? I don't think that's fair.
What's fair?
That you anticipate. And then, but okay.
I'm just basing it on past experiences.
You may anticipate, but do you really know how I'm going to respond if you don't come out and say? And if it's a true specific need of yours, if you don't say, you can't later hold me accountable for not meeting that specific need when you haven't said. I think that part is unfair.
That's unfair, but I'm just basing it on some of the responses that I have gotten before. Like I said, past experience. And therefore, based on the past experience, I let it ride.
So what I'm hearing is that she was communicating something without actually saying it. And you read her nonverbal.
Oh, she said it verbal and nonverbal.
Oh, okay. So she said it loud and clear.
Yeah.
Okay. But I will say this, and that may or may not be true, whatever the specific issue he's speaking of, but I will say this. You also have to be accountable, just like I'm willing to be accountable. You also have to be accountable in being able to come to the table with expressing that specific need and not making it as a joke, or not making it as something that really doesn't matter. And if this happens or don't happen, I'm good with it either way. But if it's a specific need, you have to be accountable enough to say, hey, and be serious about it. This is what I need, or this is what I desire. This is how I need you to show up for me in this relationship.
So here's a question, James. Do you think that sometimes maybe you present it as a joke because of some of those past reactions, and it kind of takes the edge off of asking whatever it is that you do need?
Yes.
I'm sure.
Okay, so that's a dynamic, right? So as you're sharing those things and you know that about one another, then now you can come with a better offense to that particular thing when sharing specific needs. Which I think is good for our listeners to understand, right? Because you know who each other are. Like, you know he's going to present it as a joke.
Look, friend, I'm going to tell you this.
Here you go. We getting ready to get real in this room.
I'm going to tell
y'all.
you this. If it's something that you need, you better tell me and be serious about it.
Got it. However, I hear you. I hear you loud and clear. But I also hear him in that the two of you know each other.
Yes.
And so James, here we go. Let me even this out a little bit. So James, in her defense, when you know you're getting ready to ask something, when she gives you the verbal and the nonverbal, and you like, ooh, I'm a little whatever about it. I don't know if I want to present that again. You know that's her. She doesn't hold her face for anybody. She doesn't hold her tongue for anybody. So you know that's her. But you also know that she wants to meet your needs. Is that fair?
That's fair.
Okay. And so he also wants to meet your needs. However, you also know that James, when he starts to get uncomfortable, he's going to crack a joke. It's like that nervous laugh. So you know that about him. So if he does come to you and he expresses a need with a joke, you might need to hold him accountable and be his accountability partner and say to him, hey, babe, I noticed you said that with a laugh, and you know I need direct communication without the laugh. And I know it might be hard to come to me sometimes, but I need you to say this point blank. This is what I need.
I could do that. I feel like I'm in marital counseling.
I just solved all the problems right here. I'm just saying, y'all come see me. Y'all come see me.
Send me the bill. Send me the bill. Send me the bill.
We out here.
You know I ain't gonna pay it though. But send me the bill. Send me the bill.
But
no,
for
no,
our
seriously.
listeners,
Seriously.
yeah, for sure. Because I think a lot of times people forget like who you're partnered with.
This is true.
This is so true. We know their personalities, but then we expect them to respond and do something
so
different.
Fair. And I expect him to respond the way I respond and to show up the way I show up. And that's a very good point. I appreciate you bringing that out, and I can do that. But I'm gonna go back to.
It's always a but.
I'm gonna go back to. Don't later hold me accountable for something that you're not adequately expressing. Yes. So if there is a need that needs to be met or an expectation that you have and you aren't adequately presenting that need or expectation, I'm not a mind reader, so don't hold me accountable when it doesn't happen or your expectation is not being met if you don't adequately present what it is or communicate what it is that you expect for me to do, or for me, however you need me to show up. It's just dead black and white for me. Now I can get, hey, you know, if he says something to me and he jokes and I'm like, hey, I can come back and say, now babe, you was being funny, but are you being for real?
Right.
Or babe, you know, you made a joke, but did you really mean that? I can do that. I can follow up and do that. But again, if you turn around and you say, nah, I was just kidding, but you really ain't, I'm not a mind reader.
Right.
So don't be holding me accountable for stuff when you are not willing to adequately express what it is that you want or need.
James, you heard that. Do you need to use my pen to write that down? Because she said about 10 times.
Because I meant it every 10.
I got it recorded.
Every 10.
You got it recorded. Oh my gosh, if y'all can see their facial expressions in here, it's funny. Okay, so let's talk about some specific needs. Let's see what y'all got.
She can go first.
Well, I go first. Well, how about this? How about you tell me what... We've been together a minute now. Ooh. So how about you tell me what you think my specific needs are? Okay. And I'll tell you what I think yours are. And then we can see where we got it right or where we got it wrong. This is the newlywed game. Boom. But we said that together, friend.
Yes, we did. We was we flowing.
Yes.
James. I'm taking notes.
Honesty.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Communication. Affection. And it's one more I'm forgetting. I got it in the back of my head, but it just won't come out right now.
Mm-hmm.
Or you just holler it out when it comes to the forefront of your head.
So when you say communication, what do you mean by that?
That means...
What do you think I mean when I say communication?
That you want to have genuine conversations that stimulate your mind.
Say that, boo. Say that.
Say it again for the people in the back, James.
I don't want any
Move real
surface.
close to the mic.
Right.
Move real close to the mic. Say that one more time.
I do not want any surface type of communication. Surface stuff is, hey, how was your day? Hey, you know, he's right. I need stuff to stimulate my mind. So when we talk about in-depth stuff. I want to talk about something deep. I don't want to just I can have a surface conversation with anybody on the street.
Yes, you can.
When he come home and I'm dealing with my boo, I want to be stimulated. I want my mind to be stimulated. I want to talk about some stuff, that's more than surface level stuff. Mm-hmm. That's just it. So sometimes it's even uncomfortable stuff. Mm-hmm. But who else am I supposed to talk about that stuff with?
Yeah.
Other than him.
That's true.
So
very true.
I need him to be present. Mm-hmm. Show up.
Yeah.
Be consistent. Maybe that's the word you're missing.
Yeah, that was it.
Oh, that was it. She
Consistency.
saved you.
And follow through. If you say you're going to do something, do it. That's just how I feel. Because I do all those things for you, right or wrong.
Oh, what thing?
All of those things. I show up. I'm consistent. I follow through.
Mm-hmm.
No, what?
I said, mm-hmm.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Do I, don't I?
You do.
Put your
I'm
weapons
serious.
away.
Do you feel I do or don't?
You do.
Okay.
He said you do.
No. He's
You're trying to cross-examine this man. Don't cross-examine him.
No, I mean, if
Okay.
you feel I don't, you need to speak up and say so.
But he'll talk about that after the podcast. What are James' specific needs?
Girl, sex. 3, 4, 5
Even
times
he is
a week.
laughing.
Because he knows it's true. If I didn't start with that, his specific needs, now all men in all relationships want sex, but he says 3 times a week, but he really would like it 5.
Oh,
And so,
that's above average.
listen, let me tell you something.
Ain't nothing average about it.
What? Okay. I'm just saying. A sister can't be on her back every day, all day. I got things
Y'all
to
heard
do.
it. Y'all heard it right here.
In addition to doing him, I got things to do. I got things to do. My God. So, if I hit the lottery and I don't have
We
to
trying
work,
to keep it old school. 1950s.
okay.
1950. What?
Well, those women didn't really work. They kept house. So you want me to keep house? Hey, do that, boo.
Nigga, I think he's saying you can quit your job. He got you, boo.
Hello?
Security.
Hello, keep me at the status I'm at. I'm good with it.
All right.
Okay. Hey.
He talking big
Sex
talk right
on the platter
now.
every day.
Hey,
Sex on
hey,
the platter
hey,
every day.
hey,
Hey, I'm good with it. I'm good with it. But yeah, he needs constant sex.
Mm-hmm.
He needs he likes attention. He likes attention, and he likes he really does like what's the word I'm looking for? Oh my God. He likes to be, I don't know the word I'm looking for, but he likes to be hyped up. He likes to
Exhorted or encouraged?
No, not so much encourage as opposed to oh God, it'll come to me. It's not coming to me right now.
Cheering him on?
No.
Ego strokes?
That's a good one. That is it. Thank you, friend, because I need it. He does like his ego to be stroked.
Okay, so
that's the word I was looking for.
Well, let me give
He
you
wants
another
his ego.
politically correct way to say it. Maybe he likes words of affirmation.
Yeah, but he likes his ego to be stroked. So you can pretty it up all you want. He like his ego to be stroked.
Okay.
Yeah. That's it.
But
He likes his
maybe
ego
it's
to be
just words
stroked.
of affirmation. Maybe
No,
it's just,
friend, hear me. He likes
I'm
his
trying to
ego
help
to
James.
be
Help me out
stroked.
here.
He know that's the truth. He may not admit it, but that is so true. He wants his ego to be stroked.
All right, y'all.
So
I
that's
don't know.
it. So he likes quality time.
Okay.
Quality time. He likes to spend time with family, kids, and I assume he enjoys spending his time with me. But he
And
does.
stimulating conversations.
No, I like the stimulating conversation. I have to, Lord Jesus, just for me to try to get that out of him. Woo, yeah.
Is it that difficult?
It is.
Oh, James, is it that
It's
difficult?
not that difficult.
What? What? Okay. Yeah, okay. It is.
I feel like
friend.
I'm watching the tennis match right now.
It is, friend. It's so
okay.
true.
So quality time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So,
Dozing.
is she right?
For
Sex,
for the most
attention,
part,
ego
yeah.
stroking, and quality time.
Yeah.
You even agree with ego stroking? You need your ego stroked?
Be honest.
Not all the time.
See, that means some of the time, right? If he says not all the time, But
how many times per week? 3 times per week?
No, not as much as the sex.
I knew I was gonna go back to that. See, but that's the truth, though. He does need his ego stroked.
Do you think a lot of people agree with all the list of things that you guys named as your specific needs?
I think most men would agree with the specific needs of sex. Now, I don't know how often they would need it a week. He says 3, but he's really not being honest with y'all. It's so the truth. With attention, yeah, I think so. Ego stroke, yes, I think a lot of men would want their ego stroke and need their ego stroke. I don't know about the quality time, to be honest with you. I don't. He's one of those. He likes quality time, but I don't know if a lot of men want that quality. Some of them just want to be left the hell alone and just, screw me and leave me be after that and let me watch TV. And I really do feel like a lot of them want that.
Y'all don't be like that, okay? That just sounds horrible.
That's not.
I mean,
cool.
I guess if that's what she want, it's fine. But I'm just saying.
Yeah. So.
Okay. James, do you feel like most of these things are the same things that everybody would need?
Other women in their relationship that you said about me, which is honesty. I think that's a bare minimum, though.
Yeah.
I really think that's not just specific to us. I really think that's a bare minimum. I think all women want a man or a significant other who is honest with them. Mm-hmm. I don't know about the in-depth conversation. Some women don't always need that. I think that's a specific need of mine.
Right. Well, James, what do you think?
What most women need?
Yeah. Do you think most women need all those things?
Most of them need communication. They want consistency. And they want affection. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Probably those 3.
Yeah, that's good. Because I would agree with that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that. So what kind of lessons learned can we leave for our listeners from this wonderful exercise of getting to interview the Nelsons?
I would probably say, if it's on your mind, say it. Don't hold it back. If it's something that you really want to get off your chest, just go ahead and communicate it, and don't let it eat you up or you constantly thinking about it, and just feel comfortable enough to come to your spouse or your significant other and be comfortable enough to tell them how you feel.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
James, we hear you. Okay.
Yeah.
Mika, what you got?
Well, my takeaway is, again, always be self-accountable first. I mean, and also know your partner. Mm-hmm. Know who you're dealing with, and don't expect them to show up the way you show up. Mm-hmm. But do expect them to show up.
Oh yeah, now you gotta
just
be
you
can't just be over there,
right? And so, I mean, even showing up, I'm not talking about physically. I'm just talking about like communication wise, like attention. You may not do it the way I do it, but you got to do it. Right. You understand what I'm saying? And so, with me, I think what I learned from this is, hey, if he's going to present something, and if it's uncomfortable for him, knowing how the type of personality and character he has, then maybe I should lean in a little bit more and say, hey, you said this, but did you really mean that this way? Mm-hmm. So I'll hold myself accountable for, for my actions, and I'll hold myself accountable for knowing who he is and being able to, hopefully build a security where he can come to me and not have to joke but if he does, I'll lean in and say, hey, did you mean that? Did you really expect that or want that? Or, I also learned, just kind of, I don't know if we talked about this in this, but what I also learned is that, we've been together as long as we have, and we still learning new things about each other. And and it could be, that sometimes, our needs and wants change over the years. And so what he may have needed and wanted back then is not always what he need and want now, or those needs and wants may change. And so just to be in tune, just to be aware, just to be accountable, on both, hold him accountable. I do, I hold myself accountable, and I'm also going to hold you accountable, because we in this together. And so if we in it together, we need to do it together. We need to be accountable together. So those are my takeaways.
Well, I just have to tell you guys, I just thank you so much for even being here. And James, we called you in at the last minute, and you just came in here and just rocked the podcast tonight. So we just appreciate it so much. Y'all, I am so high energy, and James just looks unbothered.
He's always just kind of laid back. But it's all good. We appreciate you. I'm going to give you some Netflix and dick later on. At least give me some. How about that?
Fire stick and dick.
Oh, fire stick and dick. I'm sorry. Fire stick and dick. I gotta get it right. My bad. Look, it's all the same. It's gonna equal up the same, right? A movie and some sex, right?
You know what? I'm gonna have to get out of here soon, because it's getting real warm in this room. But I do want to say, just kind of in closing, that you definitely need to talk to your partner about what are your bare minimums, what are your deal breakers, just in general, and then also be able to share with them those specific needs. Ask them what they are. I think we gave some ideas on how to do that. You guys talked about being direct or indirect in communication. We also talked about some bare minimums of just a relationship. And those things, we even gave some little tidbits, even about the sex thing and how to communicate on that. So again, we thank you guys so much for listening to our podcast.
Yes,
Love
thank you. Keep tuning in.
Volumes. Love speaks volumes.
Yes.
We still talking about it, y'all.
We still talking about it. And we want y'all to start talking about it. We want you to not just talk about this podcast. We want you to start talking in your relationships.
Yes, that's the
you
whole
gotta
goal.
Communicate.
Please, y'all.
And if you're not communicating, you need to figure out what the obstacle is to that community, why you're not communicating. But we're hoping by you listening to this podcast that you can glean some not just a ray of hope, but some tools for being able to break down those obstacles and get to talking in your relationships, because you only can get better once you start communicating. If you're not communicating, as my husband said, things will just fester when you're not talking about things that, it could be things that you need, things that you want, things that you expect. If you're not saying those things and you're not talking about those things, then those things are going to fester, and you're going to start resenting the other person because they're not meeting those needs or those expectations. So get to talking, people. Get to talking. Figure out why you're not talking, but, start talking.
Absolutely. What Mika said, that's what my sentiments are. Listen, if you are listening to us on YouTube, make sure you subscribe, leave comments below. Please. If you are listening to us where podcasts are heard, please follow us so you can be anticipating our next episode. We thank you guys for listening, and
this was part 1. Part 2 of this same topic,
Lord,
bare minimums,
managing
expectations, bare minimums, and specific needs. We're going to be interviewing, as episode number 2, my friend Louise and her husband Walt.
Oh my
so
gosh,
look forward, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be out there, please. Let's talk about it.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of Love Speaks Volumes by Black Diamonds 2.0 Entertainment.